Welcome to today's episode of Level Up. This is your host, Omar Duri. I am delighted to be joined by a very special guest today. Ali Murad is on the show, a master of arts, but actually a lot more than that. And the fact that he's involved with the Sharjah Art Foundation, I'm extremely excited to pick his brain about how he sees things. Now, in this episode, we'll be discussing his journey, and not only that, his creative process, and also getting to know him a little bit more. So no doubt this is going to be a great episode. Ali, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Ali, I got to ask you, man, there's a lot of stuff we were talking about offline, and that already got me thinking. How did this journey start for you, and how do you start being creative?
Well, first of all, thank you for hosting me.
My pleasure.
My name is Ali Murad.
Yeah.
I'm Lebanese, born in the UAE, specifically Sharjah.
Okay.
I've been always into art since I was a kid. Like, I remember when my mom used to keep me a notebook with colored pencils and pencil to draw.
Yeah.
And I've been always into drawing. And in 2004, my mom took me to an art institute.
Okay.
She read about it online, on a newspaper. And I've been attending that art institute, Sharjah Art Institute, from summer 2004 till 2009.
Okay.
And I learned all the basics of art, like watercolor, painting, and perspective. And after that, I went to university. I studied interior design. And after graduating from the university, I missed the art institute where I used to go to. So I took a friend of mine. I told him, come, let me show you that art institute that I used to go to.
Yeah.
And from 2004 to 2009, because it was in the summer and I'm born in August,
Okay.
my friends at the art institute, they used to celebrate my birthday in that cafe.
Okay. Okay.
That was next to the art institute.
Got you. Okay.
So in 2011, after 2 years of not going to that area, I told my friend, come, I'll show you that cafe that I used to go to. So when I went, I saw they changed the interior of the place, of that cafe.
Yeah.
And I tried to go in, but someone came out and told me, you can't enter, it's a private office. I got offended.
Okay.
I'm like, how dare you? Like, this is my place. How? But
This is my home.
yeah, I got really annoyed.
Yeah.
And after leaving from there, Instagram was still new back then.
Yeah.
So I saw someone following me, and it was Nawar Al-Qasibi.
Okay.
I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And apparently, Sheikh Nawar Al-Qasimi is working in the Sharjah Art Foundation, which is now she's the deputy director of the foundation.
Yeah.
She was the one who told me, get out, it's a private office.
Okay.
And it's surprising that now I'm working in that place. So the office I'm in right now is the cafe that I used to celebrate my birthday back in 2004 to 2009. This is my story with Sharjah Art Foundation.
Yeah.
I know you asked me about how my art started.
No, but that's interesting. Can I ask you actually about this now that you've mentioned that? Is there a sense of when you enter a place that you feel like this is home, or this is something that I'm comfortable in, or this is somewhere where I've grown up in, especially as an artist? When you went back to this place and you saw it was an office, did you feel like someone had entered your home?
I'm a very nostalgic person.
Right.
All my work that I create is inspired by the past, my memories, nostalgia, the surrounding, nature, anything organic. So all these elements plays big role in shaping my creativity. So like I love places that has my memories. So yeah, this is how I work in general.
That's interesting. Artists are often seen in terms of their creative mind as mind-blowing, the way that they see things, they view things, the way they express things. As an artist, do you find it quite therapeutic, and do you have to be alone when you are creating art?
I do, but at the same time, I'm a person who loves to be surrounded by his friends, his family, his loved ones.
Yeah.
they give me a great energy.
Yes.
But then after I collect all that great energy, I like to be alone to produce my art.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's almost like you get a dosage of the family and friends,
Yes.
and then you end up going and expressing yourself away from that because you've got the positivity and the frequency.
Yes. So I
Okay.
can be a super extrovert and to introvert.
Okay. And but artists are often known as introverts,
Um,
or are they not?
Actually, it depends. I don't like to generalize.
Yeah.
But artists, they have a different kind of behavior, a different way of thinking.
Yeah.
Anyone who's creative, they have that unique kind of style, you know.
Yes.
So this is why general public, they might look at them as they are weird, but I completely understand. And especially for me, working in the art scene from 2000, like being in the art scene from 2004 till now, I met lots of people.
Yeah.
Like, some people are extreme, not weird, extreme,
Yeah.
different.
Yeah.
And some of them are too simple. And that's the beauty of humanity, you know?
Again, something else we said offline, and this is something that artists normally don't like to be labeled, even though they do produce things that create identities for others, right? When you spoke to me about the process of being creative and you said all the amazing things you were doing, tell us more about that. I'm very intrigued about that because I don't have half the knowledge you have in these things. So I'm learning through this episode.
I'm more than happy to share all
Thank
this
yes,
information.
please. Yeah.
So, me personally, I don't like to be labeled. People in general, they love labeling things. But for me, I don't like to be labeled, even work-wise, because it limits me. This is how I feel. So as a person who I find myself creative, I like to be titled as creative. So this allows me to do anything without being judged. I don't really care much about what people think. But for me, it's more about feeling free. I love freedom. So when I say I'm a creative, I can be a chef, I can be an artist, I can be a photographer, writer, and actually I do all of these. I'm also into cooking.
Okay.
So
God, he's gonna make me hungry. Okay,
but the way I cook is I try to make a healthy, delicious meal.
Yeah.
We'll get.
I like the way he added that.
We'll get into that.
Yeah.
But back to the topic of being creative. So I enjoy. I kind of get bored easily, but I get bored once I feel whatever I'm creating is not being delivered the right way. I believe every emotion has a different way to be translated to. So some emotions can be translated into photography, some of them into writing. I translate depends on how I feel and what is the right medium to put this emotion into, you know what I mean?
Do you ever stop and then go back to the emotion?
Well,
so for example, you're creating something artistic and you reach that stage where you're like, you know what, no, I need to come back to this. Do you stop there, or do you and do something else, or do you come back to the same thing before you move on to something else?
I multitask.
Okay, is that a good thing? I gotta ask you. You know why I gotta ask you? Because it's truly unique that so many different opinions, which is not wrong or right, that people say don't multitask, or you know what, it's better to multitask. Some people say do one thing at a time, but creatives, they manage things very differently in the sense that they can handle 4 or 5 things at the same time.
It is exhausting and it doesn't work always. Like sometimes you really need to be focused and finish that thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to be responsible for my answer, but for me, I like to multitask. But sometimes it depends on the project. Sometimes I need to be focused only on that project.
Yeah.
But I like to use my time. I don't like to waste my time.
Yeah.
So if I felt, for example, rendering something and takes like 2-3 hours. These 3 hours, I can use them to do something else.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I like to multitask.
Okay. That's interesting. How do you reset?
I go to the nature.
Yeah. Tell me about that. That's what I wanted to get to.
As a person who's born in the city and surrounded by concrete and metal, you know?
Yeah.
At some point of your life, you feel there's something missing. And back then, I still remember clearly in when I was 17 years old. I've been always into nature. Like, I think because of playing video games and watching all these animation movies, you feel, oh wow, animals. Watching National Geographic and Animal Planet, all these influenced me a lot, and I'm like, I want to be a scientist. I want to be geologist. I've been always into these topics, and whenever I tell people I want to go to the forest, I want to go to Amazon and all these natural places, they kind of make fun of me. Like, they tell me, "What are you, Tarzan?"
Why? Why would they make fun of it?
Back then, nature was not really what is it called? It was, people didn't appreciate nature in the past like nowadays.
Correct.
Maybe I don't know why. I think because of COVID and the lockdown and all.
Yeah, that could be massively.
These played big role. And in the past, the recent years, people love nature so much, and they got into the inner tourism.
Yes, I get you what you're saying.
Yeah, they got into tourism in the country.
Yeah,
and I'm like, good morning. Just now you discovered that we have nature
good
here.
Good morning. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when I turned 18 and I started to walk around Sharjah, like when we were kids, we are not allowed to go to places.
Yes.
When I turned 18, my family were like, they didn't restrict me from anything. I'm like, wow, okay. So when I started to explore the city of Sharjah and the UAE in general, and I had the chance to be more in nature. So in general, you miss what you don't have.
Correct.
Or you appreciate what you don't have.
Yes.
So we are very disconnected from nature, And it's funny that us humans, we came from the nature.
Correct.
People assume that we were born and raised in the city, and this is our natural habitat. Yeah. So maybe the people around me, they didn't really get it. But with time, when I grew up, I understood that I'm a person who's really into nature, and I feel very relaxed. And actually, after 2 days, I'm gonna have iftar with my friends on the mountain.
Okay. Yeah. There's so many things there when you're talking, and I mean, this is the first time obviously we've met, but there's so many things when you're talking in terms of freedom, expression, therapeutic shouts at me when you say about the things that you're doing, not being judged. This is how things should be, but they're not always like that. Do you sometimes have to detox from the stuff that everyone else is doing, or a lot of people are doing, in order to just kind of regain calmness?
Yes, I do, of course.
How do you do that?
I just take my car and just drive without thinking, and then I end up, I don't know, by UAE borders with Oman, or on a mountain or in a valley. And
then you just stop and...
Yeah, I take my snack. I stop by the supermarket. I get some, petrol station. I get some snacks and I sit there. And usually I go out with my best friend, Said Swedi. He's the master of coffee.
Okay, so shout out to Said.
Yeah,
Okay.
So I enjoy him doing the coffee for me. When we go out.
All right, now I'm jealous. Okay.
You're welcome to join.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Experiences, memories, nostalgia. I listened to a lot of the things you've just said now, and it's already painting a picture for me of the type of person you are and what you do. Where does the support of the family come into this? Because that's something huge in the region. True. How is the family supporting your creativity?
Well, in general, our families, when there's something new to them, that's something they didn't experience or they didn't do, they usually say no.
Correct.
They say no out of fear, and because they have zero knowledge about that, and they care about your safety.
Yeah.
So when I started the art journey, at the beginning, my family were not. I mean, my mom was supportive because she took me to the art institute, but maybe my dad was like, "What is this? It's not gonna feed you anything." But after I did the TV interview once, while drawing the Sharjah TV, they came and did coverage.
Yeah.
He was so proud, and he sent the video to his friends.
Amazing.
So After that, they became very supportive, and they are very proud of me, alhamdulillah. So yeah, like my advice for anyone who has this issue of his family not supporting him, you need to believe in yourself, and once your families, in general, they see that you are very sure about what you are doing, they will respect that. But don't let go of your dreams or whatever you love just because you felt your family are not supporting. The issue is they are not getting what you have in your mind. You know? So prove to them who you are and what you want to do.
Yeah. Was there, because you said your mom took you obviously to the Art Institute, and your father was a bit more reserved about it. Was there an aha moment where they looked at you and went, wow, like he's talented, you know? This was the aha moment that they backed you, for example, or said, no, let him express himself, let him do his thing?
Yeah, they did.
When was that?
It's, I think, in 2005. Like after going to the Art Institute, there was a group exhibition, and I participated in it. So here, I felt both parents were proud.
Yeah.
I mean, all of our parents, they feel happy when they see you on TV. You know, like, they share it with their family.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. When you face challenges, or when you end up leveling up to adversity, what approach do you take? Do you isolate yourself? Do you put yourself in the fire line? Do you fight or flight? You know how the brain works. How do you respond to that?
Do you mean when I have art block? Like I don't feel inspired?
Yeah, so art block is one of those things that challenges you. I was going to say us, but I'm nowhere near creative as you.
Oh, yeah.
So challenges us, right? So, but there are many things. How do you face those challenges?
I noticed whenever I force something, I don't make anything nice. And anything genuine, either as art or even in posing in front of the camera, like when you are genuine, the photo looks pretty. And maybe sometimes, for example, in an interview, if I'm prepared, it wouldn't be as nice as when it's happened genuinely, naturally.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I love anything naturally, like in everything. Like I try to have healthy food, natural food, and to be in nature, to be surrounded by natural people. You know, like I'm too sick of being surrounded by fake stuff.
Yeah.
Like a funny example, I get so upset when I see an IKEA plastic plant at someone's home. Like, why do you need more plastic in your life?
Yeah,
you know, خلاص, يعني.
Yeah.
Personality is fake. Living in between four fake walls, like concrete walls.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'm too emotional and sensitive, so these things triggers me. So this is why I reach a level where I want everything natural. Surrounding me, and also to have natural stuff going into my body. You know? So sorry, I forgot the question.
No, I was just asking in terms of how you face challenges, how you tackle challenges.
Yeah. So when I force things, like when I force myself to produce art, I don't come up with any good results.
Right.
So I leave it and I go with the flow.
Yeah.
Like I truly go with the flow, and from 2018 till 2020, I think I didn't produce anything productive in those 2 years. I got upset because I'm seeing everyone around me evolving and developing their skills and reaching somewhere, and I'm still at my place. Of course, rule number one, don't compare yourself to anyone else, because everyone have a different journey. Maybe right now I'm in a pause mode, and the other person is
thriving.
Yes. And at some point it's going to be the opposite.
Absolutely.
So never think about that. It's always good to be inspired by others, encourage others, wish everyone well. And once you are pure about your intention, the good stuff will happen to you.
I like that.
So I just leave it there, and when I try to be inspired by going to nature, visiting exhibitions, meeting new people, sitting with someone who's wise, or someone interesting, and maybe one word can
trigger.
Yeah.
If you removed emotion and sensitivity out of Ali, would you still produce the same?
Ali will not be there.
Perfect. That's what I'm alluding to. So you embrace that as a positive thing.
Yeah.
And energy and frequency is what you're all about from what I'm understanding,
yeah.
right? So with all that, how important is it to reset your environment?
Whenever you feel pressured, whenever you feel you're not happy with yourself,
Yeah.
that means there's something wrong. Like a very recent story happened to me from 2017, and I feel like there's something not well. Like I lost my excitement about life in general, about being creative, and I noticed whenever I talk to my friends, I keep doing this. Like I just move my hands. Then I understood like it's about surrounding, you know. So it was two options for me: either to move out, because I live with my family. I'm very blessed and happy that I live with my family, and I'm sharing my room with my siblings. This is another great thing that created a beautiful bond.
Yeah.
But at some point, you feel like there's something about the surrounding, and also my family are very inside the box. They are a very simple family. They live in the same area for 32 years. They didn't move to any other location. So,
that's awesome.
And I'm a very free person.
Yeah.
As I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
So I realized that I either want to move out the country, like to live abroad for 2 years to study, continue studying, or do, I don't know, any course.
Where would you go?
I'm obsessed with Japan. We can talk about Japan later.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with Japan.
Have you been?
Yeah, like 5 times.
See, I really want to go.
It's a beautiful country. So it's either...
I'm supposed to go. I really want to go.
Inshallah.
I'm going to take notes from you.
Yeah, I'm more than happy.
Okay.
So it was either Japan, but I think I sat with a great architect friend, and he told me, Ali, you already went to Japan like 5 times, and you have all the experience of being in Japan. What you need as a creative is to shock yourself and go somewhere completely new. You will learn more. I'm like, that's interesting. So if I went and lived in Japan, I'll just fulfill a dream.
Yeah.
But if I go somewhere completely new, I will have extra knowledge coming into
Correct.
me. You know what I mean?
What would be something new?
I went to Europe last year. It was my first time.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I got obsessed with Japan. I kept going to Japan.
Interesting. Where did you go in Europe?
I went to Netherlands.
Okay.
And the reason why I went to Netherlands, because most of the design exhibitions I go to, I'm very into product design and urban design.
Right.
And most of those creative designers that I liked, they were from either Netherlands or Scandinavian countries.
Have you been to Portugal?
No, not yet. I will.
Ali?
Yeah.
No, you got to do that.
Will do.
We went by accident last year. Well, not by accident, it's someone's wedding, but we went last year. If I'd known Portugal was that stunning naturally, then my wife and I would have gone a very long time ago. So it's one of those things where I've been around Europe. I lived most of my life in London, France, Spain, Italy. I've done all that. But there was something about Portugal, especially the way you've spoken today. And believe it or not, my wife asked me last month, for your birthday, where do you want to go? Because it's in April. And I said, it's either Japan or somewhere very quiet. And you mentioned Japan, you mentioned that, and I thought, yes, that's exactly it. So
it's a sign.
It's a sign, yeah. With everything that you're doing and the challenges that you face and the amazing stuff that you're doing, if you would go to somewhere out of your comfort zone, let's say, would that be a form of education for your palate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like comfort zone is a big lie. It's a trap.
Okay.
You think, oh, I'm good.
Yeah.
But you'll never
evolve.
And you're missing a lot.
Yeah.
I love leaving my comfort zone.
Yeah.
It's a joy. Sometimes it's kind of scary. I understand, especially if you have responsibility. But whenever you have the chance to leave your comfort zone, just do it. Like, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? I mean, I went through a lot of stuff in my life, and I realized like leaving the comfort zone is just by itself is a level up.
Very good.
Oh, actually, it's the name of the show.
Very good. And we didn't even script that. That was perfect. I'm taking that as my Instagram. I'm using Ali as my, that's going to be my advert. I know you're super busy, and before I let you go, I think it's been great just listening to you, to be honest. I know normally hosts aren't your favorite people, but
Oh, thank you.
it's great to be able to interview. What's coming up next for you? Like, how, without putting pressure, obviously, because I know what you're like. What's next for you?
Right now,
Yeah.
I'm working on limited edition prints.
Okay.
I worked on. I started with Sharjah. I created a poster about Sharjah because I want to say I love you, but I didn't know how. So I translated that through a poster.
Okay.
And I tried to work hard on the content or the story behind that poster.
Yeah.
And it did very well. I made 100 limited edition.
Okay.
And then I went to Abu Dhabi in 2019, or I can't remember. And it was the first time I stayed that long in Abu Dhabi. And then I fell in love with Abu Dhabi. I'm like, wow, I won't say I love you, but how? So I created another poster.
On Abu Dhabi.
Abu Dhabi limited
Amazing.
edition, and it's all
Amazing.
sold out.
Okay.
And then I saw like I'm creating. Then I came up with this idea: why don't I do a poster for each emirate? But
yeah.
I need to have that personal connection with it.
Yes.
And then I created Dubai.
Yeah.
Also, it's doing very well. And soon I'm gonna continue doing the other emirates.
Amazing.
And all of them are limited editions
Amazing.
to
Can't wait
add
to
some
discuss.
value to it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
that's
you.
awesome. Listen, thank you very much for being on our show, Level Up.
Thank you.
I think you summed it up perfectly. That could have been my outro.
I'm happy. To
Yeah,
do
that could have been my outro. It's been an absolute pleasure, not just speaking to you, listening to you, and also being a fly on that wall on your journey. I can't wait to see more of it.
Thank you so much. Thank you.